Well, good morning out there, out there, huh? Shall we call that a waking up call? From in here, we're saying good morning. Out here, there goes Jenny. Vivi is gnawing on something in the other room, so here's her nose. And we'll pretend she's here. Vivi, I miss you. Oh, boy. It's May, the freezing month of May. Oh, boy. Every year, I think. Don't you? And then I always remember being bundled up in Holland for tulip time. Hope your week is going along okay. At least it's, the sentimental miracle of watching the leaves a little more every day. The woods behind our home here is getting so you can't see through it. Yeah. Filling the bird feeders more. Boy, yeah. So, welcome to Sentimentalist. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mariana. Well, my pirates were rolling along in first place. Hard to believe. 100 and some losses the last few years. Winning this year, and then boom, they went to Tampa Bay. And you know what a manta ray can do. It took in my pirates. Ouch. Now people are coming back from Florida, back here where we live. One of the next to the last is back. She got in day before yesterday, and it was the sweetest sound, sort of yelling down the street, "Hi, Sue. How was the flight?" And then it made me think, what a fun definition of kindness is? Either you say that or you don't. Instead of being a teenager and saying, rolling your eyes, there's a cliche for you. How's the flight? How do you like this weather was the next sentence. And I thought, another. And then I thought, how wonderful. That's not what it means. It means all kinds of things, doesn't it? Really. All kinds of really sweet, nice other things. Hi, Sue. Welcome back. How was the flight? How do you like this weather? Rosemary Tromer's book in about a week called All the Honey. Am I covering it up? Called All the Honey. Third printing already. Third printing. That's remarkable. It doesn't happen with a book of poems. And yesterday out came my dear late colleague Susanetta Pat Peckham's book. Deep are these distances between us. And it's a collection put together by her son Darius. And it has a heartbreakingly heart-moving foreword written by Darius about his late mom. And I was going through my computer stuff yesterday, and I found a little essay, which is the last time I saw Susan. I didn't even know it was in there. Boy, is that good. Is that ever good? I just finished reading Pat Conroy's. This is an old book, you probably read it, The Water is Wide, about his experiences teaching on the island off South Carolina, Yakamakwa. You know the children there that he taught, 15 through 18 about years old, didn't know the alphabet, didn't know the President of the United States, couldn't spell their names. A couple of them could count to 10. What's that like? Of course, he got fired for trying to teach them. You can read that all you want. Yeah, wow. Let's see here. What, April 20th? I don't think that's the date. Oh, hello, May 4th. See what's on there. June 17th. I keep reminding you because I'd love to be with you. June 17th at Oxbow. Workshop all day, 10 to 5. Completely harmless, real fun. Just exploring what matters to you. That's all. Completely private, don't have to be anything. On the anniversary of my father's passing last week, and then a little later I got a note from David Lowry. I think I've told you this. David was the guy from the University of Pittsburgh Hospital who called me to ask whether I wanted my father on life support or not. There's Vivian. Hi, sweetheart. Hey. And David was so good with me, and I wrote him a note just sort of thanking him again. And he waited until I made the decision, and I didn't know who it was on the other end, and then he said, I was one of your students. Just floored me. And he wrote a beautiful note. Well, now, here we go. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot this. Here's something to do. I love this. I came across this essay where, guess what was celebrated? Middling. Just sort of middling around. Not having all this pressure. Oh, I have 43 things on my to-do list. Well, if you left us tomorrow and you had 42 left, just middling around. I think I think I'll. Here's a dumb middling around thing I did. I picked up all the leaves out of our garden. And then the next day I looked out, and you know what was in the garden? Leaves. And it's just so good. There's something about accomplishing something that you can't possibly accomplish. Middling. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. There's a different kind of so what that's really healthy for us, I learned today, or no, not today. Every Monday, I've told you before, every Monday I meet with Jim Alice. And yesterday Jim Alice had this remarkable experience of finishing up teaching in one prison, driving to another prison, and starting a new class. So you go from all these inmates that you've become attached to, and taking a deep breath and what that feels like to maybe not see them again, and the relationship you built with them, because that's how Jim teaches. Jim and I are colleagues in not teaching the mastery of things, but the experience is what matters. And so it's like the relationship between you and the book, and I want to know as the teacher, what happened for you? Did you argue with Henry David Thoreau? Did you get along with him? You having him over for breakfast? Jim teaches that way. Henry stays with you then, Mastery, when was Henry born? Slurp. So he goes from one saying goodbye to another. What's it going to be like? He doesn't know these guys. This will be new. They'll love him. So Jim and I were talking. He's interested in justice, and they were teaching Plato's Republic. And what Socrates talks about is justice isn't really possible. It's not really possible. And now that doesn't mean you try to deal with injustice and overcome it. But this notion of, and Jim applies it to the inmates who have been victims of justice. We're going to get justice. And then they're in there for 40 years. Did you ever do anything wrong? And maybe, Jim says maybe they would admit maybe it took them 10 to change. But after that, what are these Christian nationalists about? I guess we know what they're about. I'm finding it, well, we belong to the UCC church. My wife's the administrative assistant, which means that she works 24 hours a day. And, well, the thing was, we need more. And I keep reading where we're open and affirming, and so we're not Christians. Jesus wasn't. He was also a failure. He didn't bring justice into the world. He didn't. Do you notice that? That since his time? No, it's just the same. It's called, whatever. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, and now the Christian nationalists and the Trumpies, and yeah. I don't like the word atheists, and I don't like the word agnostic. They're used to be cruel. And a lot of people struggle. Why can't we? I'm a strugglist. I'm a strugglist. Well, you know what? The Goldfinches are back. Holy cow, are the Goldfinches back all around here. Anybody who has a feeder, a thistle, or sunflowers, the Goldfinches are here. What a sight. And they, the other birds were, I overheard them, they were going, how come they get to wear that? Huh? What's the deal on that? So let's do a given for me. It's from a book, believe it or not, called St. Peter and the Goldfinch. Goldfinch by Daughter Meredith, who's still alive and teaching in her school. Daddy worries every day. Got some mean parents there. St. Peter and the Goldfinch. He'd filled the little roofed feeders with sunflower and thistle seeds, the hooks hanging sturdy from the birch's branches, twisting his own arm's length above the mulch path. The day's first light lapsing along the leaves. Peter knew the neighbors were talking about the guy in the frayed cassock who, last week, moved in with only a pickup's bed of what seemed to be belongings. A small table, a couple of ladder-back chairs, a sound system that looked vintage. A lot of books. 3 futons, a large canvas bag, maybe filled with pans, pots, dishes, and 3 lamps, one that dangled tiny stars from the frayed shade. He had gone out and brought home an Adirondack and about 50 flower pots and the feeders. Now he took his morning green tea out to the chair to wait for the birds. This, he felt cross his mind, is what I have waited for. He sipped. A housefinch came, a couple cardinals, a downy woodpecker. The chickadees would take a seed, fly into the branches of the hemlocks surrounding the house, and batter to get to the meat. Time and time again they returned. Peter tried to count them, then wondered why. He stopped and thought about what to plant in the pots where he would place them, within the striped grass that made a nest for the house to sit in. He liked thinking he had nested. He liked thinking everything here could be taken away. He had cosmos and patience, no perennial until bloom and loss became a ritual sacred. There was a breeze, there was the tea, and then there was a goldfinch, just one, at the thistle feeder, its startle of yellow and black seamless within its feathers. Peter watched as it took the seed, sat above him. He watched as the bird flew to the feeder, flew back to the same branch. St. Peter and the Goldfinch, here in the day's beginning. He could not bow his head. He knew joy's coupled sorrow. He knew that this was time. He knew what the earth knew. Take care, be kind, try to be cheerful. Let's get this weather warm, huh? Yeah. Thank you.